Well, to reintroduce or introduce people for the first time to Karl, I think we should have a...
Yeah, maybe sort of a kind of a quick Q&A, Karl, and we don't need sort of lengthy answers from you, we don't need lots of detail. You know, it can be just a couple of sentences.
Just to get a flavour of who you are.
Yeah, so firstly, name obviously Karl Pilkington. Age, Karl?
I'll be 30 next month.
Really?
This month. No, next... Where are we?
I don't think we need to ask any more questions.
I think we've done it.
That's
I
it.
think we've
Welcome
done it
to the world of Karl Pilkington.
I think that, I thought it would take 3 or 4
I
questions
thought it was going to be at least,
to really explain
that was the
Karl
first question.
Oh God!
Because it's kind of to do with your dad, isn't it? He's a very bad gift buyer. Was that the problem?
Well, yeah, my dad just wouldn't bother. It was my mum who sort of made an effort, and she sort of worked out half of what I wanted, then she left it to me dad to get it off someone, see if he could get one cheap or whatever.
I love the fact that usually people talk about, like, drinking heavily, or, violent abuse, right?
Yeah.
But what he's been left with and scarred with from parents is bad gift buying.
Yeah, and
that's
the
not so
Victoria
bad,
Plum
is it?
incident.
In the greater scheme of things in the world,
Yeah, but
that's not a bad thing to have, is it?
Right, there was this, this is what it's like about getting presents and stuff, right? With my mum and dad.
Go on.
My mate, Colin, right? No, Colin Bailey.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
He had a little Sinclair Spectrum, right?
Yeah.
Computer,
Yeah.
which was like the thing to have at that time, right?
Yeah.
Used to always go round to his house. The deal was
Not the one you had to play through the window because you weren't allowed.
no, that's another lad.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
This is a different lad, and the deal was he came to our house, and my mum gave him a pie, and then I'd go round to his, and I'd stay there for a few hours playing, you know, Hungry Horace and stuff like that on it.
Sure.
Right? Now, my mum and dad knew that I really wanted one of these computers, right? So I waited about a year. Came round to Christmas Day. I thought, I reckon might have one. Turned out they bought me the wrong one. They bought me a ZX81 instead of a Spectrum, right? And Christmas Day, I'm there trying to load the games up. It's not working. I'm thinking, what's wrong, right? And the thing with me when I was a kid, I used to get quite sort of agitated.
This is the moment,
right? I found out that it needed a RAM pack to make it work, right? Looking in the thing and it's saying, and make sure you put your RAM pack in the back. And I was like, oh, where's the RAM pack? And my dad's going, I don't know, I've got you the main bit. That's it. So I was that wound up, I just was sick, right? Just sick. Oh, I didn't feel sick or anything. I just was like, oh god. Went to the sink, just sick. Because I was that on edge about it. I said, come on, we've got to get one. And my dad's like, Tandy's shut. We're not gonna get anything today. Ruined again. Christmas Day. That was after the year when my train set got blown up by our kid. The following year, no RAM pack. And now you ask me why don't I get good presents?
he's scarred. He just
I'm gonna die. Honestly, I'm gonna die. It's just clean sick.
Yeah. There's no RAM pack.
Did you get to the bottom of it? Why wasn't there a RAM pack?
You have to buy them separate.
Oh,
That's why I'm
okay.
cons.
What do you mean I can't play Frogger? Fascinating French bread anecdote.
Oh yeah, yeah.
What
Come
was
on
the
then.
story?
How did baguettes come about? If this is going to be someone cooked a loaf a bit wrong and said I can still make a sandwich out of it, I'm going to hit you.
No.
Go on then.
Right. Napoleon, when he was at war and that with Russia.
1812. Yeah.
Yeah, all his soldiers were like, you know, not used to the cold weather and that. So they said, take some clothes in your bag with you because it's going to be
Chilly.
nippy out there. So they put all the clothes in the bag.
Sure.
Did what they were told.
Thought,
It's Napoleon, for Christ's sake.
No room for any food.
No room for
You're
any
joking.
So
Couldn't they make some sort of like sandwich?
no, it wouldn't fit because of all the clothes. You had to take extra gear.
Sure.
So anyway, he said,
I can see where
know.
this is going. I'll be honest.
Is there a baguette-shaped gap left in their holdall?
They thought, let's make some bread that you can fit down your trouser leg.
What?
That's not true. No, it's not.
I read it in Euston train station. I was waiting to go back to Manchester.
Where did you read
What,
these?
scrawled on the wall in graffiti?
Yeah.
Do you know the
Was it also meet me here for cock fun at 12 o'clock?
The upper crust sandwich shop, Euston station. It's on the wall.
What do you mean it's on the wall?
Do you know how it says, like, sail on at Dixon's, whatever?
Yeah.
Next to that, there was, like, a bit of information. Once you've read the stuff on
I
Dixon's,
get information.
there was a big thing about the history of the baguette. I read it and I thought,
We got to make a sandwich we can spit down our trouser leg.
But how can you march and fight with a huge piece of bread down your train?
Although it would be intimidating. You see them coming, you go, sacre bleu, look at the size of them. They're big fellas. Well,
Blimey. I can't help but feel that could be a practical joke at your expense.
yeah.
Wouldn't do that.
Well, the Earl of
Do you ever
Sandwich...
question anything you read? If it's printed up, is that,
Yeah.
like, fact for you then?
Well, it's not funny. I mean, if they were trying to be funny, it's like... it's not, is it? So it's information.
Have you heard us? Things sometimes want to be funny when they're not.
That's exactly what happened with the sandwich. The Earl of Sandwich wanted something he could fit down his pants. And it was those triangle cut sandwiches wrapped in cling film were perfect. You might be right. You might be right.
What do you make of the real-life Mowgli who's surviving in a Transylvanian countryside? Apparently, I don't know much about this story.
I don't know.
You know Mowgli, he's
Is
the
that
guy
one
from
of
the
them?
Jungle Book.
Yeah.
The little kid that grew up with bears and animals and stuff. Apparently there's a real-life one in Transylvania.
What were the things in Gremlins?
What were the what? Like, in Gremlins they were...
Wait. Okay, this is an example. This is what your girlfriend said. Think. What were the things in Gremlins called?
I can't remember.
Just, I mean,
It's
really.
something like that, isn't it?
No, wait. Just really think now, Carl. Just with everything you've ever, with all the brain power you've ever used, think what the things in Gremlins were called.
It's not there.
There's a clue here.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
They're not.
What?
Look at Carl. I love that look at Carl. Carl is looking back and forth. You know when you sort of you go to a cat and it looks back and forth between two people. That's very much like Carl's looking at us now.
Or when, like, a child sees a midget or something in the street. They're just transfixed, aren't they? And the parents go, don't stare.
When we were pushing Ash, just our producers, in a wheelchair, and we were pushing
He's
through
not
the
a
VC.
midget, we should make
No,
that
he's not a little midget. He's not tall. But we were pushing him through the VC, and this little kid just came up and just stood in front of him and looked at him.
Yeah.
I just laughed.
It was funny. Do you do that? I imagine that you get caught staring at things.
Yeah, do you go up to people with problems and go, Mummy, is that a monster?
Well, I was telling you one about when I used to go with my dad in the taxi.
Oh, yeah.
What
Tell us
happened?
this story.
Well,
Your father was a taxi driver?
my dad he had loads of jobs, which he did back then. And they don't do that anymore, do they? People don't. They don't
Have a
do
variety
loads
of jobs?
stuff.
Sure.
But at one point, he had a black cab, and I used to go with him. Used to get a beer crate and put it in the front of the black cab, and sort of sit just next to the
Comfortable.
meter. And anyway, we got this call, and like the guy on the end of the radio said, "Oh, you've got your son with you, haven't you?" So he said, "Yeah." So it's just like, we've got to pick up at number 11 Village Lane or whatever. And he said, all right. And it was this woman. It was like a woman version of the Elephant Man.
Wow. The Elephant Woman.
Yeah, it looked like... it looked like... It was really strange, because I was in the front of the cab, and when you're a kid, if something looks odd, you're a bit scared of it, aren't you?
Yeah.
And my dad was like, look, it'll be all right. And we're driving towards
Just
her.
look, don't worry, son. I've got loads of buns.
And just to
I think
give
I'll
you-
just throw one down the street if you run after
You're
it.
being mean, right?
I am a little bit.
So
Yeah.
how old were you? 18?
No, I was about 12 or something like that. 11, 12. And as we got closer to her, it looked like she was holding like a bag of spuds on her shoulder,
For a snack.
Right.
and her head was all a bit mangled and messy and that. And my dad said, whatever you do, don't stare at her face.
Yeah.
And she got in the
Because
back.
you turn into stone.
Well, she got in the back, and I had like the mirror, the driver's mirror thing, and sort of having a look, trying to work out. And he said, don't stare at her face. I couldn't work out where her face was. It was that weird.
Oh, God.
So I'm not sure you're from Manchester. I think you're from, like, Narnia or something.
Yeah, you got frog boys walking around.
the Lord
with
of the Rings.
That got, like, the claws of a lobster and the head of a toad.
Yeah.
And you got women getting in with spuds for heads. I mean, what
This is
sort
not
of, what
Manchester.
is
This is not the place
place?
you grew up. This is
Yeah.
mad.
Oh, you can't believe it in London, can you? You come down and you go, look, symmetry. It must be amazing.
It must be a thing to do with upbringing, though, mustn't it? And because again, do you know I've said to you before, years ago when I was a kid and didn't have any worries, good-looking lad, you go through it a bit, have a few more worries, and you look knackered. Now back there's a lot more worries and stuff, so you get a lot more freaks. Whereas in London, everyone's like happy, aren't they? Got
I
loads
love
of
the
money.
fact that stress can cause your fingers to fuse and your heads
Yeah.
to grow.
No, but if
She
like,
must have been really stressed to have a head like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. She what was?
Bag of
Yeah,
sluts.
was she an accountant or something?
you know what I mean.
But what did she do? What did she say?
Where
when
was she
got in?
going, by the way?
She couldn't speak.
London Zoo, please.
I think She was going to like
To
a
the
pet
fair.
shop. Seriously, honest to God. On my mum's life, she was. Because at the end of the day, that's a good thing with animals. They don't judge you, do they?
She's not
She was an animal. She's a human being.
Not actually an elephant.
No, but
You know the elephant man was not actually an elephant. You understand that? He's got no elephant genes in him at all.
No.
That was just a cruel name people gave him.
Yeah.
No, it's the name of the disease, isn't it? Elephantitis.
Look, so listen. So this woman, why was she going to a pet shop?
She was going to a pet shop. What, to find a husband?
Play a song.
Is this true?
No, it is true, yeah.
Oh,
But
God.
I'm not taking the mickey, because it must be
So-
really bad for
Of
you.
course it
But
is.
Carl, I
we
need to
haven't.
ask.
I'm going on to you today about cutting myself shaving.
Yeah.
I was going on about that. To think that she's probably not alive now, but to think,
But you're saying that you're going to say this is a worse problem than a little cut shaving, aren't you?
yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I
The
think
things
you're right.
that
Carl,
you worry
there's a
about.
couple of key questions I need to ask. One, if she couldn't talk,
Yeah.
how did she tell your father where to drive it? Did she have it
Probably
written
got
on a
some
note?
help
Did she
at
point
home.
with her nose?
Yeah.
Right, this has got silly. Pick your song.
But and also,
Is
finally,
it-
where did you say she lived again?
It was like in a village, a little small village.
Right.
Just hidden out of the way.
All I'm saying is we could maybe get like some sort of coach, book some coaches, get a coach party up there to have a look at her.
So,
Take some photos.
And now
You can make some lemonade.
the offspring of a woman and some spuds. Please enter at your peril. Should give me a shiny shilling.
Oh,
terrible.
chimpanzee that monkey news.
Excellent.
right. Right, where were we?
We would just start again. There's some people making a documentary.
For what? Okay.
Making a documentary in the jungle and that.
Right.
Stumble across a little gang.
Okay, come on.
All right.
A little gang of monkeys.
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
So the camera crew are there filming it.
Yes.
Everything's going normal.
It's all fine,
Nothing odd about it.
Okay. They're not running a restaurant. They've not got any barber shops. Nothing.
No.
Just regular monkeys going about their business. Yeah.
So anyway, what normally happens is the monkeys stick with the partner.
What did you want?
They don't sort of sleep around and that. Once they
Oh,
find
right,
once they
they're
find the
monkeys.
girlfriend or the boyfriend or whatever,
Yeah.
they stick with them, right?
Okay.
But anyway, they were watching this one, right? And it's going around a bit, sleeping around,
Oily.
and it was getting fatter. They thought this is a bit odd,
Yeah.
right? So followed it round and see it having it away. Turns out, little prostitute.
Oh, God!
It's a little monkey prostitute.
And it was getting fatter because it was charging them bananas.
What a load of old rubbish.
It's charging them bananas! What was it, a boy or... It was a...
Little woman monkey.
That's the most extraordinary monkey news I've ever heard.
Oh! That is genius!
Has this documentary been televised?
I don't think it's been on yet.
No.
And that's all the information you've got.
Yeah.
And is that's one banana for everything?
Now, half a banana is for...
Just oral.
A poor job.
Right.
If you want full-blown monkey sex, it is 2.5 bananas.
No, you know, my mum and dad have sort of moved from Manchester. They've reside now in Wales.
Oh, yeah.
And it is...
Look at his face, turning his nose up.
No, but it is pretty depressing. Do you know what I mean? It's just one of them places that... it's like you go back in time and that when you go there. I mean, maybe the major cities there, maybe Cardiff is alright.
What, even coming from Manchester, it's like going back in time?
It's just... it's like one of them places that it feels like every day is Sunday. Do you know what I mean? It's just depressing and grey and slate
Lots of
everywhere.
bickers walking around going, I'm late.
Well, yeah, it's the sort of attitude they have, right? This is true because my mum and dad live there and that, right? And they love it. It's all right. It's an healthy place to go when you get older and that. But this is why they don't move on in Wales.
Well, I'd just like to make another...
No.
Sorry to any Welsh people listening, we're not saying you don't move on. Carl is.
No, but
Sorry about the little Chinese shoes
the
again as
thing
well.
is, it's good that in a way that they do that, and they don't want to be like, you know, rushing about everywhere because the way London isn't that great either, is it? Because it's totally opposite here. Right,
Yeah.
so I'm not having a go. It is a bit dull. I think even people who live there will agree with me.
Okay.
Right, but like one of the shops that my mum and dad use, right, it's only a little sort of villagey type shop. They can't be bothered staying open for hours and hours, right? Because there's not enough people use the shop.
Yeah.
So what you do is they get used to what you buy.
They
And
leave it out.
They put it in a phone box outside.
They put it in a phone box?
Yeah.
So it doesn't get wet.
So my dad's loving that.
Well,
Once he
yeah.
found that out, it was like, brilliant.
But how is that a bad thing? That's brilliant.
Well, it's not for other people, it is for my dad, because he's picking up all sorts of stuff.
Oh,
Chickens.
no, he's not!
Oh, yeah.
He's not nicking other people's shopping.
Well, it's not like nicking, is it? Because it's not theirs yet.
Oh! And you've stitched him up on radio.
Well, of course, because they're going to think, who is there in town with a Manc accent?
Who
hangs around a lot, yeah.
keeps making phone calls. And he's getting fatter.
Yeah.
That's
You've
their...
stitched him
I
right
love
up
that.
there,
I
Carl.
love that your dad was excited when he found out.
I can't believe that he's moved there. He's retired to this little village where it's based on trust and community, and he is abusing it. He's using his scally Manc ways.
Bloody hell, Lakers. There's no bread again.
There's old women
Was
going
empty.
hungry.
Yeah.
Their cats aren't getting fed, and your father is just... I can't... That's obscene. That's obscene.
Oh, I think it's Die Thief. That fella from Manchester.
I don't even think they've got Sky there yet, have they? They can't listen. They won't know what's...
I think you stitched him right up. I hope you have, actually. I hope he goes down for it. I hope he's hounded out of the community like Frankenstein's monster.
Yeah.
They should get burning torches, go up to the
Set fire to his cottage.
Yeah. Exactly.
Right, well...
He's out of the choir.
Look
Look, listen to him crinchling his little... Crinchling?
Crinch, you're not crinchling.
You're not crinchling your Jaffa cakes, are you?
It wasn't going out on air. No one knew.
I bet you're one of those people in cinemas that think you're being really quiet eating a bag of crisps, aren't you? Do you go to cinemas?
I haven't been for a bit, actually.
What do you do, Carl?
Carl!
What's an entertaining evening for you?
Yeah.
What would you do to occupy your time?
Might
Your hobbies, for instance.
might get a video out from prime time.
Right? What would you enjoy that, or would it just be a chore for you?
No, I think things like that.
You really hate doing that.
That's when you really switch off and you forget all your problems and stuff.
Well, you haven't got any
You
problems.
haven't got any problems, Carl.
You don't know that. I put on a face when I'm with you.
You wear a mask. Are you crying inside,
This
Carl?
is you being the happiest you can be. You're like a clown, aren't you? Oh,
Do you
it's...
think I'm like a hard, miserable man? Because there was somebody else
I don't
who
think you're
said
hard.
this the other day, and like I said to him, I can't watch The Elephant Man because it upsets me.
God, you're the best! You don't know you're doing it. You're
No,
the
but
best.
Can you watch it?
Well,
I always, when it gets to that bit where they're carrying him through the village and messing about with his head.
Do you know, this is true. My dad watched that once, and we were watching it. My mum and my sister and that were all quite moved by it, almost reduced to tears, thinking it was a wonderful example of man's inhumanity to man and all
Yeah,
that thing.
yeah.
And my dad just went, "Wouldn't he make an amazing novelty rucksack?" And it cheapened the film for me, and I've never had this sort of.
Steve was
relationship.
thinking, he's not that ugly.
Blimey, here we go. We were laughing at Carl. Can we focus on one person at a time, Rick? Please. Let's destroy him first.
Oh, God. Tell him what you said to me when that record was playing about the Jaffa Cakes. He bought some Jaffa Cakes, which was lovely. He went across the road and he handed out the Jaffa Cakes. And then I went, oh, thanks very much. And then what did you say?
I just remember learning at school. I'm not like making fun of the illness because it's not funny, but they cure cancer.
Jaffa Cakes cure cancer.
Not like fully.
Right. They just go some way to helping.
Yeah. Do you know? It'll sort of help. If you've got it, you can't say right, get me a load of Jaffa Cakes.
Right.
But I think it sort of puts a bit of a stop to it if you haven't got it. Do you know what I mean? It's like having vitamin tablets.
Is this medically proven? Should we get Dr. Fox down here to confirm that?
I can't. I actually can't cope. You're just play a record. Play a record.
Can I just, if anyone has ever survived cancer thanks to Jaffa Cakes, please call in.
No, but I didn't say
He
that.
said, and then he went, it's the orange thing in it. And then he tried to read it. He said, I wonder if it's, and he tried to read out this
What was
scientific
that
name.
years ago? Right, there was a couple of lads at our school
Oh, yeah.
had really big heads
Right.
and webbed fingers.
And webbed fingers.
And
Sorry, wait. Were that, hold on, did you find him in a pond? Did they used to be little tadpoles?
no,
Carl, you're not
seriously.
confusing your past with an old episode of
No,
Doctor
no.
Who, are you?
What were they called, these two?
Oh, I didn't mix with them.
Right.
It was just like
Of course not.
There was nobody thought anything of it at school because
No,
like,
sure.
you used to it.
Yeah, it's the north.
There goes the creature from the Black Lagoon again.
yeah.
He is
late.
brilliant at trigonometry.
He's late for double maths.
Yeah.
But I didn't think anything of
What
it.
is it called? What is the disease called where two fellas are they
Not even related.
rubbish?
Not related.
Were you near a nuclear power station when you were growing up?
Yeah.
You weren't really.
Yeah. I was on the.
There must be more to that story, K-Man.
I was in the school team. I wasn't that good as a kid at football, to
Right.
be honest. Mainly down to, I think it's because my dad wasn't into football.
Right.
And I think that's the way it works, isn't it? If your dad's into it, then you could be a footballer when you're older,
Sure.
Yep.
because you're into it. And so I was in the school team because I got on with the other lads. They let me in the team.
Popular guy, yeah.
Sure.
And yeah, I was stood there doing nothing because I didn't really know what to do. I never knew which way I was meant to be shooting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got all that messed up.
Yeah. That is a
And I just stood there, right, and with my hands behind my back, and something landed on me on like this part of my thumb.
You can't just point. It's radio.
It's this bit here,
Right, yeah.
The
The
base of
fleshy
your thumb,
bit. The
yeah.
fleshy bit of the
Flesh on
thumb.
my
Yeah.
and I thought, oh, what's that? And I looked down, and
It
it was
was
a
a
bee.
thumb. Oh, it was a bee.
It
Yeah.
was a bee on me. So I start running,
Yeah.
try to get away from it, and bees. Actually, something interesting about bees: more chance of getting stung by a bee in windy weather than any other sort of weather.
That's incredible.
Anyway, so I'm running away.
And he said there was no more.
Extraordinary. I've already learned many things. You're being chased by the bee. It's
So
windy.
I'm running.
It's
and
on your thumb. Is it still on your thumb now?
It's sort of gripping onto me like a stag
Clever,
beetle.
clever.
I love his. Oh,
Or a bee.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm running, and I'm running towards like the goal.
Yeah.
Oh God! And the ball comes to me.
Yes.
Wallop, get it in.
Brilliant. What happened to the bee though? Did it sting you?
They die, don't they?
I mean, ultimately it died, sure, but at that particular moment,
I
did
mean,
it sting you?
this was probably about 20 years ago, so I imagine.
No. Once a bee stings
So
you,
did
that's
it sting
Yeah,
you?
but didn't it sting you?
Yeah.
Right, that was the question.
When did it sting you?
When I was playing football.
Carl, do you mind me asking, you say you're on the school football team. Was there just 11 boys at your school? Was that how you got in the squad?
Listen, Carl. All I mean is, at what point in this story did the bee sting you? Straight away?
After
or
half time.
Play around.
Went into the army, right? Because he couldn't get a normal job. And my dad said, you know, if you don't get a job by such a date, that's it, son, you're going in the army. And, so when was the Falklands? Was it about
81.
Right? And he joined back in like 81 or something. And he I don't know, he was in Aldershot or something.
Oh, yeah.
And he wrote back to my mum saying, you know, a bad time to join, bad time in this. So she wrote.
Well, bad time to join. That's so sweet, Carl, isn't it? That's like, dear Dad. Yeah, well done.
Don't know if you've noticed.
Yeah. I was on the dole, that's for sure. Thank you for joining. A month before the Belgrano.
Anyway,
go on.
my mum called up, spoke to the sergeant, and said, "Can you leave him out of this one?
Can you leave him out of this one? What, the Falkland War?
He's only just joined," and she called him Chuck, which he got done for. Like she's one of them. I think it's a northern thing, like saying, "How are you, Chuck?"
Yeah.
And she called the sergeant Chuck, and the sergeant said to like my brother, "Your mum, you know, she's called up and asked if you can not go," which of course, you know, I mean, we'll see how it goes. But can you
What?
tell
What do
her-
you mean? Why did the sergeant even entertain this?
Well,
Pilkington, come here. Your mum's been giving me a bit of earache. Now listen, tell her I've told you, but can you call her, because she called me Chuck and everything. Can you call her and say you don't mind? Well, not really. Oh, please, because I've promised her say you want to go. No, please, say you want to go. Why was he entertaining this phone call?
probably because he was new.
What?
Because he was new to the army, I suppose.
Who? No, I mean the
your brother.
sergeant.
I don't know. Maybe they do that.
So what happened? He didn't go in the end?
So he didn't go. No.
You can't do it.
But that's ludicrous.
I love it that. We went over the top. Pilkington,
No,
I've got a note. Yeah. Is this really your mum? Yeah. Okay. No, this seems to be in order.
Because I noticed it says, I do not want to go into the army. I don't want to go and fight, and it's crossed out and it said, Mum says don't
Yeah.
go. Now you didn't write this yourself.
No,
did you,
no, my mum
Pilkington?
wrote this. Okay,
You definitely
Pilkington,
wrote this yourself.
Your excuse. You're going to have to fill envelopes.
No, I'm sure if he was needed, he would have had to go. But I think they made a bit of a special effort. They sort of said, "Oh,
Well, it wasn't conscription anyway. Oh no, I see.
But were the other soldiers going around just going,
Pilkington?
no." He ended up being a mechanic in there, and he got kicked out for going for a packet of fags in a tank.
What?
Now, wait a minute. Do you mean he nipped down the shops
Yeah.
in a tank?
Yeah.
I don't believe that, Carl. You've made
Honest
that
to
up.
God. That, and he went off with the sergeant's wife. So that didn't help, and he ended up getting kicked out.
Sorry, your brother's a genius.
I love this. First of all, he gets a call from his mum, go and let him up, and he goes, oh God. Then he goes, where's Pilkington? His mum's on the phone. Where is he? He's near your house, Sergeant. Near my house? Well, why is... No reason. Well, when he comes back, when he's finished, tell him his mum called. And can he get me a packet of fags? Tell him to walk this time.
Wow.
This is ludicrous.
So the sergeant found out that he was sleeping with his wife?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I was
Did
quite
your
young.
mum phone out and say, let him off? No,
Let him
court
off this
martial him.
time. Can he... Yeah. That's fantastic.
But he misses it. I mean, I haven't seen him for about 11 years. But ever since he came out, he's just kept getting into trouble and that. And the army, you know, people slag it off, but I think if you're a certain type of person, it's good for
It
you.
didn't straighten him out, did it?
No.
He was going down the shops in a tank, he was shagging someone
No,
behind
but
their back.
it's
Yeah.
really weird. It's like back then, he was like a proper adult, and he had a house, and he collected crystal with his wife and that. And now, he hasn't got any of that.
Has he got the wife?
No,
Has he got the crystal?
don't think he has.
And he hasn't got the
I
house.
seriously haven't seen him for about 11 or 12 years.
Oh,
So I haven't even spoken
It
to
always
him.
Carl's stories always start off nice and funny, and then they just leave me empty and slightly depressed. I don't know whether to hug him or shoot him, put him out of his misery. Can we take Carl to the... phone in if you think I should take Carl to the vet and have him put down, because it's just too stressful.